I harvested over 27,000 olives off just 2 trees. And right about that time, my sanity left the building. I decided to pick every single one myself. Nuts! What was I thinking? Each weekend, I picked 2 to 3 buckets. Then more the next weekend, and the next, and the next. I was beginning to wonder if it would ever stop. 27,000 olives. How do I know that? Well, I counted them. Once I jarred the entire crop, I counted how many pitted olives fit into an average sized jar and worked it out from there. By the time I did the count, I'd given a few buckets away and many finished jars to family and friends. 27,000 is a conservative figure. So conservative, it wears sensible shoes and turns the lights off to save money. Why did I have such a bumper crop? My secret? It's a complicated proprietary process. I fertilise around November when they flower, and I prune after I pick everything. That's it. Don't tell anyone. Honestly, I'm just as baffled as you are. These trees must have been feeling charitable. It's an embarrassment of passive success. I handpick these little gems every week instead of violently raking or shaking the trees. A process I call artisanal martyrdom. This definitely gets me a better yield. Though I admit, if I had an actual olive grove, I'd need a team of highly trained possums to help. Since I only have the 2 trees, my one-man weekly harvest is perfectly practical. The real genius is that it prevents me from having to pick 27,000 tiny fruit stones in a single rage-filled afternoon. Breaking the task up weekly helps me maintain the fragile delusion that this is, in fact, a hobby. My trees are about 15 years old, and frankly, they have confused work ethics. The Kalamata out the front is consistent, giving me a decent crop every single year, but the Arbequina out the back is a diva. It only bothers to fruit every other year. This season, however, was the Arbequina's turn, and oh my god, did it compensate for lost time. I spent my days picking, and then spent my afternoons and evenings and nights pitting like a machine, while trying to devour enough podcasts to last me through the next biennial harvest. My ears are arguably more exhausted than my hands. When you have a bumper crop like that, you just don't pickle. You conduct a full-scale flavour symposium. I launched 8 separate research projects: chili and garlic, chili and lime, ginger and lime, lemon and black pepper, red wine and garlic, white wine and garlic, turmeric and black pepper, and my old standby, herb and white wine vinegar. It was like a flavour thunderdome, and the undisputed champion, winning by a knockout, was the simple yet potent, freshly chopped chili and garlic, with the boozy red wine and fresh garlic coming in a close second. I did jar a few batches with dried ingredients, and they were fine, but you just can't beat the fresh stuff. Of course, that meant even more chopping. I guess I just hate having free time. To all fellow olive growers, may your yields be plentiful. But if your harvest even approaches this magnitude, please treat it like a public health crisis and call for reinforcements. Enjoy your olives, and if you hear a strange clicking sound in the distance, it's probably just me, still pitting away.